Speaking slowly so you can understand. Just a couple of teachers just doing a thing. Speaking slowly so you can understand. Just a couple of teachers just doing a thing. Gonna give you that English nice and slow. Gonna give it to you nice and slow. I'm gonna give you that English nice and slow. Gonna give it to you nice and slow. I'm gonna give it to you. Give it to you. Slowly. Give it to you. Give it to you. Slowly.
Hello, hello, hello. What is up, my friends? This is Abe. Teacher Talk is back. I'm not going to give you another long-winded excuse about why we don't have a new episode. Long-winded. You can say that about people. If someone is known to speak a lot and make every story a very long story, you say, oh, he's very long-winded. Anyway, I'm not going to give you a long-winded excuse. I'm just going to give you a new and final Daddy Diary episode. This is Daddy Diaries episode number 5. It was recorded again just over 2 years ago, the summer of 2020. Now, this was a really tough one to edit, to be honest. From the intro, maybe you can tell that I cut a lot of Ben's uhs and ums. Remember, this was done 2 years ago, back when he was just starting to get into the podcast world. Also, we were drinking. This episode was done on a nice sunny day. We were having a couple of beers, and that's another reason why it was pretty tough to edit it, because there was just a lot of weird things said. I tried to keep most of it in there. Some of the stories were just disgusting and totally inappropriate, so I cut it out. You guys don't want to hear some of that stuff. This is the last time we did a Daddy Diaries. We talked about beer for the first half of the episode, and then we actually did talk about parenting a little bit as well. Especially we talked about giving your partner time away from parenting, so kind of taking over and letting your partner rest, and also support from family and other stuff like that. So it starts off not very focused on parenting, and then the second half, we come back to it. Anyway, as I said, summer of 2020. Quite a while ago. Just have to punch that date into the old time machine as it heats up, which is actually kind of nice because the weather's been getting a lot colder in Sendai these days. It seems like every day it's a little colder, so it's kind of nice to get into the hot sauna time machine kind of thing. All right. Well, I know what that means. Here we go. Oh, I forgot my seatbelt. And we're rolling.
Hey, Abe, are we rolling?
Yes, DJ Benke, we're rolling. Cheers, buddy.
Yeah, cheers. 1, 2, 3.
A couple of nice cold beers on a hot day. Is this a special treat for you?
Beers on a hot day?
Well, yeah. I mean, now that you have kids, is it difficult to find time to enjoy cold beers on a hot day?
Well, usually my beer time is after the kids have gone to bed. So I don't drink a drop until all four little eyes are closed. The sun's shining, the beers are flowing, and yeah, this is a rare time where I could have a beer during the day.
Daddy is relaxing.
Usually I wouldn't. Actually, I would have had a beer anyway.
So even if I didn't come over, you would have had a beer?
Yeah, I'm Australian. And in Australia, when babies are born, they're born into a bath of beer. And then they're taken to the sunshine of the beach and they're dipped in the salty water of Australis. Something you may not have known. That's not true, but beer's in my blood. And if anybody listening hasn't tried an Australian beer, I recommend going and buying Australian beers, helping the Australian economy, and enjoying a delicious beverage.
What's the best Australian beer?
Good question. I'm glad you asked. Well, it's difficult to find a bad Australian beer. The best...
Really?
We have some
They're kind of just regular beers.
ordinary
though.
beers.
I mean, it's like Canadian beers.
Yeah. There's no terrible beers.
I like Japanese beer.
Japanese beer is great. But, for example, in Australia, we don't have the happoshu. So we have only real beers.
Real beer.
And even the cheapest, worst beer is still something that you would probably drink.
So even
happy
the
to drink.
cheapest beer is still better than happoshu.
I know you are somebody who appreciates cold drinks, Abe.
Yes, my friends call me the
Iceman.
the ice Nazi.
The ice Nazi.
Because I'm like, Schnell,
Yeah, it's
must be cold.
because you enjoy an ice cold beer.
I do. It's very important that my beer is cold.
Yes, well, we have different ideas of cold. For me, cold is anything under room temperature.
Nah, it's got to be like ice cold.
I think that's the Canadian spirit.
Nah, I think it's just me.
It's just you.
Yeah, I'm very particular about my beer's temperature.
But you ask me which Australian beer is best? Well, ladies and gentlemen, get comfortable. If you're sitting down, take off your pants. If you're feeling stressed, try not to think about work or family problems.
Just think about cold beer.
Come with me on a journey to the great state of Tasmania.
Tasmania.
One of the most southern points on the earth. Home to the mystical Tasmanian tiger.
Is that the name of the beer?
No. The Tasmanian tiger was a very interesting animal that went extinct. So there's no more.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Poor tiger.
You can see some interesting videos of them on YouTube. But my point is, in Tasmania, with its beautiful forests and minimal industry, not many factories and pollution.
Tasmania is an island.
Yes.
So it's not the Australian mainland. It's like south of Australia. Kind of in between Australia and New Zealand.
It's between Australia and Antarctica.
Okay, so it's in like the Southern Ocean.
Yes. And I suppose you could compare it to Hokkaido in Japan, where it's famous for natural beauty and very remote locations and landscapes.
And delicious beer.
Delicious beer, exactly. That's another similarity. People say because the water is very clean that they make delicious beer. So yeah, in my opinion, some of the best beer comes from Tasmania, and especially
So what's the name of the beer already?
one.
God
I know
damn
you're
it.
waiting. You just can't wait for the
Just
name.
say the damn name.
Well, sometimes when something is so delicious, we should wait and let our mouths become watery with anticipation.
My mouth is watering, Ben.
Are you ready for it, you dirty dog? Well,
Yes.
open your mouth, because here
ready.
it comes.
Ah.
The first beer on my list is Cascade.
Never heard of it.
Well, pity you.
It's
a word that
Foster's.
Foster's? No.
It's the beer out here, mate. The beer of the outback.
Sadly, Foster's was a runaway marketing ideas.
Yeah, so Foster's was popular in North America, but not in Australia.
No, we call it piss water.
Piss water.
Yeah.
Ouch. Sorry, Foster's.
Not even piss, but piss with water added to it.
So watered
down piss.
Oh, God. Okay, the other beers I know
Right.
is VB.
Well, that's my home state
Victoria.
of Victoria.
Bitter, mate.
Yeah, which it gets a bad reputation. It's not that bad. It's not great. It is bitter.
Well, all beer is kind of bitter,
It's
isn't it?
especially bitter. It's refreshing. VB's fine.
And the other beer that I remember from when I used to live in Australia is
4X?
4X.
Yeah, well, that's a classic Queensland beer.
That's where I was, in
Yeah.
Queensland.
So I suppose 4X is similar to VB, where it's sort of one of the cheaper beers in the market, but I think 4X is better than Victoria Bitter.
Okay.
VB, yeah.
So right now, 4X is number 2. Cascade of Tasmania is number 1.
Yeah, and there's also James Bogues, which is another Tasmanian beer,
Never heard
which
of
is
it.
delicious. But the Cascade, on the label of the beer, you can see the Tasmanian tiger.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. It's a delicious beer. Number 3, Cooper's, which is widely available in Japan. So go to your local large
Supermarket?
liquor store,
Liquor store?
yeah, or international supermarket, and you might be lucky enough to find a Cooper's beer.
Is it better than Ichiban Shibori?
Yeah, but for me, there's also nostalgia with the beer. So
when
yeah,
you
I will
drink-
always, I love Japanese beer, but I will always choose my favorite Australian beer if I had a choice, because of the memories and the nostalgia and the...
When you drink that beer, you feel nostalgic. It
I can-
brings back the memories.
I get flashes of koalas and cricket and burnouts, people driving irresponsibly.
Are there a lot of crazy drivers in Australia?
Yeah, that's something which is a big difference between Australia and Japan. Is it's a pleasure to drive in Japan. The drivers here generally are polite and not aggressive, and the police are much more relaxed in Japan.
So you much prefer driving in Japan compared to Australia?
100%.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Anyway, I was asking you about being able to kick back and have some drinks and relax
Yeah,
when you have 2 kids.
sure.
So it is a special treat.
During the day, yeah, absolutely. But, you know, we have a good bedtime routine. So kids go to bed at 8 o'clock. No, they go to bed at 7 o'clock. And if we're lucky, they're asleep before 8.
How often does your wife have the chance? Because, you know, now she's off with the kids and you can kind of kick back and relax. How often does your wife have the chance to do the same?
Never. I make sure she can never relax. No. To be serious, very often, Abe. Every weekend.
Really?
Very often. She's tired. She's given birth. She's pushed a baby from her body twice. She's
Amazing.
now working full time. So I know that she's tired. So often on the weekends, I will take the boys and the dog, and go to the park for many hours
Just to give her some time.
to give her some time and some rest.
Let her relax.
Yeah, let her relax and enjoy her time to herself. Some me time, as we say. I don't know what she does during her me time, but I imagine...
She's at my house.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. She has actually... She has been itching a lot recently. But aside from your house, I imagine she lies on the couch and looks at photographs and pictures of me. Of me, Abe,
Of me.
her husband.
I see.
Right.
Okay, so you try to make sure that she gets some time to relax.
It's really important. Parenting is fun, but it's also very difficult, and you need some time away from your children. Every week, at least, you need some time to relax and not think about it.
That's one of the things that makes me worried about having kids.
Yeah.
Is I don't have any family
Yes.
close. You know, my wife's family is up in Almorty.
Sure.
And of course, my family's way across the damn ocean.
Yep.
So who's going to give us a break? You know, who's going to help?
Who are you going to call?
Who are you going to call?
Old Uncle Ben. I'll be there for you.
No, you won't.
I will. I have a similar situation, not exactly the same, but of course my Australian family is far away, and my wife's family are far enough. They live in the countryside, so it's
still Miyagi.
Sure, but it's a rare chance where we can leave the kids with them. They're very busy, and they have a big family, so there's always something happening, and it's very, very rare where we would have the chance for them to take the kids.
If you want to take your wife on a nice romantic date and have a nice night, just the two of you.
It's been a long time. It would require some careful planning. I think we did it once. We left the kids with her mother and we went out to dinner, and it was a strange feeling. We didn't know what to do. We were just talking about the kids, and I wonder what they're doing now. And
really,
it's not the same as when we were childless.
So it was difficult to think about other things.
Yeah, that's right. You know, it was like, this spaghetti's delicious, hey? Yeah. I wonder what Rui's doing now. Do you think your mum's okay?
Really?
Yeah, it's not the same, because the moment you have children, a rope, a string is attached to their heart, which runs from their heart to your brain, and it's constantly pulling on your thoughts.
So you're just always thinking about your kids in
It's
one
always
way
there.
or another.
It's like a monkey on your back.
Can you drink a lot to forget?
You could. Sure, you can.
How do you relax?
You can. If you drink enough, then you start to fall asleep. And then if you're asleep, you don't think of your children. In fact,
Oh man.
I never dream of my children. When I'm dreaming, when I'm asleep, it's my escape from reality.
Damn.
Yeah,
So
I
the
dream
only
of
time-
ducks and staircases.
Ducks?
Yeah. and-
Like quack quack.
yeah,
ducks?
quack quack ducks running upstairs and
Running upstairs.
Yeah.
Weird.
yeah, weird dreams.
Weird.
Weird.
Well, it's a real pleasure to be able to spend some time with you.
The pleasure's all mine, not
Clinking
yours. I'm going to be
beers.
greedy and take all the pleasure for myself.
Don't you
So
dare.
I hope you don't enjoy one moment.
Don't you.
Because all of the pleasure
Give
is
me some of
mine.
that
I'm
pleasure.
a pleasure
Give it
whore.
to me.
So, anyway, thank you for having me. I hope people can enjoy hearing about
I
the
think
trials and tribulations
This
of
is like
parenthood.
number 5. that I'm recording with you.
Right.
So perhaps if anyone has any questions, you can send them to 55freebird.com.
There you go. 55freebird.com.
Yeah, 55freebird.com.
All questions are welcome. I have no secrets. I will answer anything you need to know. My life is an open book.
It's true. It's true. Ask him anything.
Anything.
Oh, man. My neck. Ah, my neck. Oh, that was a rough ride. I forgot to do up my seatbelt, and it really jolted me forward, and I think I kind of hurt my neck. Oh, goddamn time machine. Hopefully that's the last time I have to use the time machine. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. As you heard near the end there, this episode was made before we had social media or email address, because it was made before we even started Teacher Talk. So now we do have social media, so come and follow us on Twitter, FBE Teacher Talk. Ben takes care of the Instagram. When he gets to 200 followers, he's going to make a special thank you song for all the freaks and weirdos on Instagram. So go and check him out, FBE Teacher Talk on Instagram, and send us your questions, your comments. We have a few that we haven't done yet. I'm sorry, but like you guys know, we haven't had a chance to record together for a while. So once we record together, we're going to catch up with all the questions, but we're always looking for more. So please do contact us, send us your questions, send us your comments. Have a wonderful week. Be cool, be awesome, be yourself, and see you next time.